After back-to-back deadly scrapes, the heroes healed their wounds with deep and wary breaths, and they headed back deeper below to explore the unexplored and be sure their backs were covered. Seeking the way into the room below the eerie surgical room above, they found what once would have been a horrifying dissection chamber, but it had been picked spotlessly clean by their next foe, a duo of ochre jellies. Learning quickly what to do and forcing the mindless oozes into a choke point, the heroes were able to grab their first smooth victory in some time, and retrieving some valuable booty to boot. But the good times were not to last, as they ventured further forward and discovered a most grotesquely warped creature, stricken with a level of fear beyond imagining. And while Tulak tried to calm it and reason with it, it struck out like a cornered animal, nearly taking Azori and Kraka simultaneously. Tulak attempted to end its misery, but it did not succumb to his power, and the heroes retreated once again as the creature moaned and wept uncontrollably behind them.
Hello there, creatures and denizens of the North. James here with a favor to ask of you. We want you to go out and tell a friend about one of our shows. Word of mouth is so important for a burgeoning network like ours, and each and every one of you can help us grow just by mentioning one of our shows to a friend, a game master, or someone on the street with a cool shirt. We'd also like to remind you that we've got a free public Discord where some of our most dedicated fans hang out at unchartednorth.com/Discord, and we'd love to hear from you. And if you really like what we do, you can help us create these shows and get some cool rewards in the process at patreon.com/unchartednorth. That's it. Thank you so much for listening, and we hope you enjoyed today's episode.
So I am someone who generally prefers, to some capacity, to take a sort of trial by fire approach to just like really like learning a new job or working in a new space, something like that. Because I kind of learned whatever I do know has always been a little bit in that direction and has a lot less been about preparation. I'm not very good at preparation. I'm not a very good studier or note taker and so on and so forth. So I was wondering if anyone here has any fun stories about learning something trial by fire, or if they have any stories about learning something or having done lots of preparation and you arrive and you're like surprised at how much that helped you in the situation you're in. I'll give a quick example for myself. The trial by fire for me, especially in my profession, came from the first time I really had a serving position of some kind. It was at the dinner theater that I worked at years ago, and I was working in a kitchen at the time, and I was supposed to move to serving, and I never did. But when I auditioned for the dinner theater, I told them I was supposed to. And then somewhere in the mix of just being really busy and doing all the rehearsals, was my first production, and I was very nervous. We kind of forgot to retouch on that situation. And so the very first performance that I did there, I also had to serve a large banquet table of 30 people. And I had never served anyone in my entire life. So I just bit the bullet and did it. And did the show and sang and did all the things. And I'm sure it wasn't good, but that is basically how I learned. And it wasn't till like, a month in or 2 months later that it came out that I was like, I actually didn't have any experience. And they were like, shit, you should have told us, but I guess it's fine now. And ever since, it's kind of been my strategy. Every time I go to a new space in the service industry or hospitality, I just say, just throw me in and I'll ask questions and we'll figure it out. And that's kind of been my mode for a very long time. I don't really have much in the way of preparation examples.
So what you're saying is your MO is show up completely unprepared, lob yourself in there, and then just start asking questions when you inevitably start to drown?
I mean, it's yes and no. It's easy to put it that way, but I guess I've consistently worked in the same industry, just with different styles of food and drink and stuff like that. So you always retain some of the stuff you've used along the way. So you're not always going in totally blind. You have some good habits established, but generally, yeah. Like if I'm about to go work at a wine bar, I'm not really studying my wine when I go in.
I think that's a service industry thing, though. If you thrive on the pressure of something like the service industry, you kind of thrive on those new experiences. And I've kind of taken that with me because, like, my first job was the kitchen as well. And every job I go to has since I kind of like remember that rush that used to be like stress dreams, but now I just very fondly of like the chit printer hitting the floor on the supper rush. And then it's just like, oh, it's go time, I guess. And I kind of carried that little bit of an adrenaline rush into all my other stuff. So even like a job that I have now that I have to go in with a calmer head, a lot of it is that same kind of, oh, problem has happened. I have to channel this energy into a productive way to fix it. And I have to find the solutions on my feet to get there. And I think that's the only way we're similar, Baron. That one way.
It's the only thing we got in common. I mean, pretty much. I mean, everybody here has worked in the service industry in some capacity, so I'm sure they can all relate. Scott or James, you have anything to add to this conversation?
Well, I do, but I'm going out to left field with this one, baby, because this is just a little hot stock tip for every single person listening and you guys.
Uncharted North does not endorse any of Scott's stock tips.
I flew a plane once.
Ooh.
And the way that I flew the plane is I basically just signed up for an introductory lesson at the local flying club, which was in Victoria at the time.
Yeah.
Best $80 I ever spent. You roll in there. First of all, I suggest listening to Danger Zone really loud on the way in. Do this during the summer. Windows open. Get yourself in the mood, Yeah. Then you show up. You get a half hour on the tarmac with the trainer. And me, having played a lot of video games, I kind of knew the breakdown of the plane and how things worked. And we were shooting the shit. And he's like, all right, let's just cut this down and we'll spend some more time in the sky. So it's supposed to be half an hour. So we did about 15 minutes, 45.
Nice.
We hop in this tiny little 2-seater Cessna. He takes it off. There's second steering wheel right in front of me. And he just takes his hand off the fucking controller. And he's just like, let her rip. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, you're flying now. Like, you are in charge.
So irresponsible.
And so I just grabbed the controls and just started flying. And he's, I'd played a shit ton of video games, all sorts of stuff. So I kind of had like an idea of how it worked, and it worked exactly like that. Mm-hmm. And he's like, fly me over downtown, do a little loop, show me where you live. And then we flew to my house. He's like, oh, I can't really see, turn the plane a little bit so I can look down. And so I did, and he's like, not enough. And he grabbed his wheel and really reefed on it. So we went way over, and I'm like, whoa. And clearly he just does this to everyone.
That's terrifying.
And then we just flew back to the airport, and then he took control and just landed it, which I think I could have fucking landed that thing. No instruction. I'm fucking telling you. All you do is slow down and keep it straight.
Yeah, right.
Dude.
It's not that simple. It isn't hard. Maybe a plane is harder. I've flown gliders and stuff like that with the Air Cadets, and landing them is very easy. So I have no doubt that you could have done it.
He did two things.
Yeah.
Slow down, keep straight.
Yeah.
That's
all you got to do is one thing, not crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously.
Listeners, find your
So
local flying
simple.
club, pay the $80 or whatever it is, get your intro lesson, and fucking thank me later by being a Patreon subscriber. Shout out.
We got to have a tier to make your life insurance beneficiary the Patreon subscriber.
All right, James, tell us how you prepared for everything in your life.
I've prepared for everything in my life.
Even this question, he is pulling out a list right now.
So as a kid, I was pretty impetuous, and I never did like well in school until I realized that it wasn't me, it was the teachers and the program. Which sounds like passing the buck, but as soon as I stopped going to class and just reading the textbook, I started like acing exams and tests and stuff like that, because that environment doesn't work for me. Mm-hmm. So as soon as I figured out what did work for me, I started preparing for like anything. If it can be prepared for, I would rather take 5 minutes before something starts and do a little bit of cursory knowledge or research if I can. And sometimes it works out. Sometimes it works out really well. Like for the listeners, I got into computers in 2019. Like got back into it. So the whole industry had changed. Everything had changed. I was a Mac user for like almost 12 years. So I watched a lot of videos. I did a lot of research. I took my time. I bought all the parts. And I have a lovely computer that I enjoy, as well as a server rack next to me full of everything we use to run this network, as well as my own stuff. And that happened very quickly, but it happened quickly due to the research that I had done ahead of time. Same with this podcast. I had done all the research and the prep work. Well, not this one in particular, but Encounter This. And when we were ready, when we had the concept, we had our first episode recorded in a week. Like it because I knew how to do it, what I wanted to do, and how to produce it and get it done.
And I improvisationally just rode that wave that James created for us.
Yeah, so that was due to years of research. So I bought my mixer a full 5 years before we ever produced anything. I bought my microphone a full 3 years before we ever produced anything, because I knew it's something I wanted to do. So that preparation always pays off. But there are certain very specific times in my life where preparation just never seems to pay off. And it's one, anytime I run a TTRPG, prep is helpful, but it is not nearly as valuable as anybody makes you think it is. Like you can freeball your way through a session of 5e, and I have on almost every time we played. Like I can count on two hands how many of the 300 sessions we played where you actually followed what I thought you were going to do, and I didn't just have to make up the entire session whole cloth. And the other time is social engagements. I don't think there's any value realistically in preparing for a social engagement, like going to a party or meeting a friend at the bar. Like I have friends and companions who will like come with here are my talking points. Here's how I make friends, and that's beautiful if it works for you. All the power to you. Whatever it takes to engage with human beings on their level is very important. But anytime I ever do it, it blows up in my face spectacularly. So I just don't anymore.
I don't know how I don't know how one prepares for a social engagement. I don't
If you're gonna go ice skating, another hot stock tip for you: go ice skating then the week or night before, and then pretend like you never did it when you're good.
Just get that little extra practice in.
Okay.
That's sound
and then you just say like, "Oh, I've been on skates in like 8 years."
And just
Doing
rip
backwards
around the
crossovers
place.
on these bitches, dunking on people.
Heel toe, motherfucker.
If we want to go to where I am with the preparation right now in things, I just remembered where we are in this adventure and why the segue is going to be what this intro banter was.
Yeah, because I mean, there are a lot of fights in this adventure that you are going to go into unprepared. The vast majority of them. However, through the benevolence of myself, the benevolence of the barn, I have bestowed upon you the option to do some advanced preparation. And in some cases, you've not put that to use. In particular, you have been for quite some time fighting in the Fleshwarp Laboratories level and have not once bothered to research Fleshwarps.
Okay,
and you just got your asses
okay.
handed to you by one.
Well, so in Scott and Duncan's defense, Izori's brand new here, and she is all about just like getting in there and killing shit. Like she's
True.
here for vengeance.
But in your
So-
own defense, via Lady Gilda,
that still hurts.
Also, I want to step in on the fuck you barn train because we were under a 48-hour time schedule. And during that time, you fucking threw the full moon at us, you son of a bitch.
no, that's true. That's true.
And then you're like,
true.
oh, you didn't do any research over the last 48 hours.
I don't mind. I don't really mind that you didn't do any. I'm just saying it's nipped.
You just want to call us out in front of the listeners. That's all you want.
like I'm never called out from the listeners.
Burning down the barn. Burning down the barn.
I think it's more the listeners calling you out than us calling you out.
And
in
I
front of the
quote,
listeners.
I want to jump on the fuck you barn train. Scott Barber.
That's right.
Is that a call out or a statement of intent?
I think it's a merch idea is what it is.
And this train ain't stopping.
Now, to be fair, I will be for me bringing this up actually comes from the fact that, like, I don't think you guys really I can't recall if you actually recalled knowledge on this creature. I think you did because I think you discovered that it is a flesh warp of an elf.
Yes.
Yes.
But I
we
don't know
did.
how much information I gave you beyond that.
Quite a bit. So we know that it is a cruel and humiliating flesh warp. Happens only when you try it with an elf. Drow loves these things. It is permanently frightened. This one is permanently frightened too.
Yep.
Its highest save is Fortitude. It has no immunities, resistance, weaknesses. It has Dark Vision, Fearful Curse, Mind Lash, Non-Evil, our Will Save or Stun 2, and the pseudopods of a 20-foot reach. So we did recall knowledge on it, for sure.
So
Big
the
time.
reason this came to mind is because of a particular thing that I'm sure I revealed on the fly, if not in the recall knowledge check. But the mind lash, as that shit really fucked you up. But after attempting the save, you were temporarily immune for 24 hours, which means 2 of the 3 of you right now, as beat up as you are, effectively have an advantage against this creature unless, so long as you enter into that room again and try to take it on. It still hits like a beast and has lots of reach. There's no doubt about that. But that's just the sort of thing that comes to mind. Was like, oh, had you done some advanced research on flesh warping, and I have it set up in the research similar to the Will-O-Wisp, where you have multiple options to research specific creatures under that category. You can get that stat block ahead of time and try to understand it and go in prepared.
Why don't you just tell us what's the next floor down, what creatures are going to be there, and
Okay.
then we'll research that.
Sure.
And
okay.
Belcora's evil plan in its entirety.
We know her evil plan in its entirety. It's to burn Absalom to the ground.
More of a details guy.
The next floor down is nothing but roided up mitflits. Enjoy.
I thought that was this floor.
Some swole mitflits, eh?
Yeah.
A bunch of Joe Rogans down there.
Okay, let's fucking do this, boys.
So yeah, what's the plan? You've just backed your way out of the conflict with this Urna curse, it's called, and Izori and Kruka are looking rough.
Yep. So, some healing is in order.
Okay, as they come out, Tulok quickly shuts the door behind them because he was the first one out of the room, I do believe.
I do declare.
Yeah, the average damage this thing was throwing around was 20. I got hit 3 times for 17, 19, and 23. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
It had this Storm of
Hurting real
Tentacles
bad.
ability. I can't remember if I used it or not, but it's got one.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Hey, what ancestry is Izori again?
she's human.
Okay, so as Tulok closes those doors, he is kind of visibly rattled by this thing. And I can't believe that someone would do that to a creature. I understand the flesh warping to harness the power and make their soldiers stronger, but so sick and disgusting. Just the pure hatred that would cause someone to do that to a creature because of their background, because they're an elf, And he, as you know, is a half elf. And so he is just kind of shaking with rage.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, your mother is an elf? Your father's a half elf? Or a human?
Father is full hume.
Hmm.
We all know how that relationship's going to end.
Yeah.
Well, on the plus side, I just rolled a 2 for treat wounds, so I can't do anything for at least an hour.
Okay, so how would you like to hold a compass and go nowhere in particular with it?
I got one. If we wait an hour, I'll be pretty much at full health.
Okay, yeah, Krucka's down like by 76, so he just rolled a crit on one heal, but he's still gonna need more than that.
Tulok turns to you and says, "Come, let's go to the green room. There's couches and areas to lay down in there while we recover, and then we'll decide what to do next."
Forgot about the green room. You're right next to the tavern.
I could
All
go
right,
for
so,
I heard they have only green M&Ms.
I have been craving craft services.
You get in there and they're all brown M&Ms?
I'm colorblind anyways.
Whoa. You did not put that into your character submission, Duncan. we gotta retcon a whole bunch of shit.
Oh no. Okay, so if we wait 50 minutes after Krucka's first heal, he will be fully healed.
I'm going to have to wait 61, so...
That's an 11 minutes I don't get.
I've moved the clock ahead an hour.
Okay.
Next time we're in town, I want to get one of these fucking spindles. I know they won't have one, but I'm putting the order out because
Should have done that long time ago.
You can see it.
Whatever, Barn, because originally full disclosure, originally I was like, that's kind of cheap, but then now that everyone has one, I'm jealous.
If there's anything you and James have in common, it is like holding yourself back on the principle. He's like, I'm gonna do worse on purpose.
Yeah,
feels like cheating.
Unfortunately, the Wayfinder compasses are only available to Pathfinders, so it would be very difficult to actually purchase one. I had to write mine into my backstory.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing is the Pearly White Airstone doesn't give you the healing unless you have the resident power of it, right? And you don't get the resident power of it unless under certain circumstances.
You can invest in it. It's just floating around your head.
Right.
So we can get him a spindle as long as he doesn't want to come. I mean, we can get him a compass. I'm sure there's some on the black market, but
spindle's fine because literally right now I have an inert Aeon stone that does absolutely shit all floating around my head, other than the fact I put my light on it. So.
Oh yeah, sorry, I was wrong. The resident power is the negative damage resistance.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could just get it and have it spin around.
Yeah, they're only 60 gold. Like it's worth every penny.
You guys give it a rest in the green room, and you gonna go back in and just start trying to fight this thing, or what?
Say we have to go back on after intermission. So
honestly, the thing makes me sad, and I don't really want to kill it.
I didn't either, but it got the drop on me, so I'm down for destroying it.
Out for vengeance again. I love Azori. I can't wait for her to go on a rant someday. I'm here for it. I mean, to be fair though, you feel bad for it, but like, surely it's a mercy killing. I don't know if Tulok feels that way, but
is that have we searched everywhere else on this floor that we know of?
Yeah, as far as you could tell, you haven't gone down this way, which is the southwest of the map. You've looked at the arena and stuff like that, but you just haven't been to that side of where the doors are in the arena floor itself. So you don't know what's quite around that corner. And the only other place you definitely haven't actually been was you went into the caves at the north, but you did not explore them where there's like this small, like almost lake inside the caves, and there's a creature inside there that killed those little Gibdis bounder creatures. You have not gone in there physically, but that's it.
So Tulok, with a sad look in his eyes, turns to his companions after they've been resting for a while and says, "What do you think? Should we put this creature out of its misery? It makes me incredibly sad. Maybe it's better off dead. Although, It makes my heart hurt. What do you two say?
There will be very few things we find down here that I think will be worthy of life on the surface. If we are going to cleanse this unholy location, perhaps we should cleanse this unholy location.
And I know a wise warrior once said, you generally have a good plan until you get punched in the mouth. I'm furious I got beat. Let's kill this thing.
Wise words and direct words from both of you. I appreciate your counsel, and I agree. Let's go take this thing out of its misery.
Izori draws her rapier.
I'm scared this is going to turn into another slaughter. Let's go. All right, so you head back to these double doors to the room you know this creature is in. What is the plan when you bust those doors open?
I'm going to start with a phase bolt.
Oh, while we're walking back, Kraka would like to affix one of the Bloodseeker beaks to his butchering axe.
Heck yeah, use those talismans when you got them.
Well, when we get to the door, before we open it, Izori is going to cast Blur on Kraka.
Okay, casting Blur. How long does that last?
1 minute.
Okay, so you can cast that just before cracking that door, essentially, and running in. Make sure you read over Bloodseeker Beak there, Kraka, and its trigger.
Yep.
And activation.
And sorry, did we determine if this thing had any weaknesses?
It has none. No resistances, no weaknesses, no immunities.
Okay, just try to kill it before it kills us.
It's got lots of reach. It's got attack of opportunity. It can rend you, which is brutal. It can throw a bunch of tentacles all at once at everyone in the room. That Mind Lash, I think Tulok's the only one that might be vulnerable to it right now. And that's what if it hits you with the tentacle at all.
Yeah, so with Blur Krugga, they're going to need to succeed at a DC 5 flat check just to target you. So that means I got to make 2 rolls, which is great.
Okay.
Tulok will be casting Animate Dead at 3rd level when the doors are opened. Skeletal champion, if you want to know.
I'm going to let you all crack that door open, and then we're going to roll for initiative. That's how we going to do. So double burst open the door with a kick, and let's initiative.
Let's initiate.
Since I was preparing a spell, I'd like to use my occultism.
Sure. Why not?
Me too.
Sure, why not?
That's a 22 for Izori.
Hey, Krukka?
30.
Tulok?
Woo! 24.
Okay. Krukka is at the top of the order.
Okay, that is a good time to fly into a rage right away, and let's just see what happens.
Rage.
Rage and our classic sudden charge.
Okay. Classic sudden charge. You will be taking an attack of opportunity on your charge in.
Yep.
As you enter and leave a threatened square. And that is going to be a 31 to hit.
It's
be 16 slashing damage.
okay.
Flat check.
Flat check from the blur. I mean, yeah, you did before. Yeah, you said 2. That's a miss, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty concealed right now, I think. Thank
Gives me
you.
the thumbs up. Good. Okay, that's a miss. Brutal.
Yeah, it's DC 5.
Okay. All right, what do you got there, Crux?
So striking with the butchering axe, a 26 to hit.
That is a meat to beat currently.
Fucking suck it, burn. And get these in early because this could go anyway. 25 damage, 17 slashing, 8 fire.
Nice. Okay, good hits. That's your turn. Tulok. You are casting Skeletal Champion.
You got that right.
Place it where you would like it to appear. This random skeleton comes out from underneath the arse of the Urna-curse. Oh! Have I been sitting on you this whole time?
Okay, flanking is not possible, so I'm just going to drop him directly below Krucka to the east of this bastard. And he is going to strike out with his longsword.
Okay.
Natty fucking 20 for a 30 to hit,
Yes.
baby.
Oh no. That's a crit. That's a crit, yeah. Holy shit. Skeletal champion for the win.
Not the best damage, but 20 points of slashing damage.
Nothing to scoff
And then
at.
he will raise his shield.
Okay, shield raised. Zori, what can you bring to the table?
Zori will stride into the room so she's within 30 feet of this creature, and with her next 2 actions, she's just going to let off a phase bolt because it essentially ignores cover.
Okay, so the soft cover here from...
Yeah, so when I say essentially, it reduces the cover by 2.
Okay, by like 2 steps or whatever?
By 2 points.
As in... reduce the bonus... That bonus by 2. Okay, so if it gets an AC bonus of 2 or more, it's reduced by 2. Okay, I see what you're saying. So yeah, it negates it effectively right now.
That is a 29 to hit.
That hits.
That is 12 points of piercing.
12 piercing. All right. All right. Making a dent here. Very good. That's your turn?
Yep. Step and phase.
Okay. That is going to bring it to Laerna Curse's turn. Who is now going to let out, now that you've entered a really close space to this creature, it is going to let out a soul scream. It's a 10-foot emanation, and it targets all non-evil creatures. And I need all non-evil creatures to, in that emanation, to make a will save. Does this affect the skeletal champion?
Does it have the mental trait?
It does have the mental trait, but the skeletal champion is not technically immune to mental. It is technically have its own. Usually has
It's
its own
neutral
alignment.
evil.
Yeah, but is it when it's a summoned creature? I would assume that it takes on any alignment of the summoner or the caster.
It's still evil. I'm just telling it what to do.
Yeah. Well, Krucka, roll me a will save.
16.
16. Okay, that is that's a critical failure. And
open my big
you are
mouth,
going
huh?
to be stupefied 1.
Used to that.
Oh no, sorry, stupefied 2. That's it. That's all you are. Stupefied 2. So we can kind of hand wave the skeletal champion one, because even if that were true, I don't think it's going to affect the skeletal champion unless it affects its will saves. But I think we're all right for now. And then a Jaws attack is going to come out at Krucka, who just hit this thing real hard for a 30 to hit.
That hits.
Flat check coming in.
Check.
9.
Ooh.
That hits. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that hits. And that's going to be 17 piercing on your Krucka.
Okay.
It's only DC 5.
Blur. Okay. And that's its turn. Up to you, Krucka, again.
Okay. And stupefied.
Stupefied just affects your mental stats, your intelligence, wisdom, and charisma,
Oh,
and your
that's-
spell casting.
As somebody in a rage right now, not really
Don't think it matters,
not huge. So
I
he
didn't even
would-
really mean to go easy on you on that one. I just was that was the trigger in my head. You get in
Yeah.
close, it's going to scream at you.
Why don't you hit me with some fortitude saves and I'll slap you with a juggernaut. Striking with the butchering axe for a 26 to hit.
Meet to beat.
21 damage, 8 fire.
Okay, cool.
Second action. I'd like to change the grip on his butchering axe and attempt a trip.
Okay. So taking a hand off is free. So second action is attempt to trip. That has your map -5
Yep. With athletics.
versus my reflex, I believe.
Yeah, 15. That's not good. 6 on the die.
No, not going to do it. That is a fail.
Okay. And is it worth trying to walk away with so much reach on the stupid thing?
20 feet.
Oh, actually, it's a sorry, that's a critical fail on the trip,
Oh, what's that mean?
Oh no.
which means something. I'm afraid.
It means he gets tripped.
I believe you're going to fall prone, if I remember correctly.
That is correct.
Okay, well, that makes my third action a lot easier.
Yeah. Yeah, so trip, critical fail. Yeah, you lose your own balance and fall land prone.
Oh, there was a tentacle that just popped up out of nowhere. In third action, he's going to stand up.
You're slipping on the roots of, of everything. Okay, you stand up and you're going to get an AOO for sure, because standing up is a move action. And that is going to be a tentacle flying at you for a 28 to hit.
That hits.
And that's going to be 20 slashing damage.
Okay.
I always find it weird when a tentacle does slashing as opposed to bludgeoning.
Barbed, probably.
An odd choice. I guess so.
It's essentially a whip. A whip doesn't do bludgeoning or piercing. It does slashing because it's scraping across the skin.
Yeah, that's... No, a whip does piercing, I think. I could be wrong.
That would be
crazy.
weird.
That would be weird.
Well, let's find out. Krug has got a whip in his inventory.
I'm actually reminded, now reminded of an episode we did in ET when we covered the Lucrata. Do you remember this, James? It was like, because their teeth they don't have teeth, they just have like one solid piece of bone on the upper and lower parts of their jaw. And I was like, we need some sort of like different damage type for this. It's like some kind of tear damage or something.
Right. Yeah, whip does slashing.
Okay. Then I'm just crazy. Okay, Krucka, that's your turn. Tulok, what do you get?
All right. First of all, Tulok will sustain and then will cast telekinetic projectile, flinging a stone at this son of a bitch.
You always do the same thing, but I always love your enthusiasm.
That is okay because I ain't doing nothing because that was a natty 1.
Okay. You've gone in both directions.
The skeletal champion with shield not any raised any longer, I guess, will raise his shield again and then strike out with his long sword for a 28 to hit.
That hits.
For 6 points of slashing damage with a 2 on the die.
Wee little bit extra, not too bad. Izori. This thing is flailing and screaming and is very unhappy.
Izori's going to stride 10 feet, so she's kind of on the stairs. And she will then cast Phase Volt again because she's within range. That is an 18 to hit.
That is a miss.
Okay. I'll spend a hero point.
Okay.
That's a 17 to hit, so she's done.
Also a miss. The Urna Curse is going to continue its flailing at being harried up close, and it's going to do a storm of tentacles. And it is going to, let's see here, attack both the Skeletal Champion and Krucka before counting towards the multiple attack penalty. Krucka, it's going to be 23 to hit.
Nope.
And then Skeletal Champion, 29 to hit. That's you, Scott.
That's a hit. I was reading.
Is it a hit or is it a crit?
What did he say it was?
29.
That's a crit.
Oh,
on the
nice.
Wait, hold on.
Wait, hold on.
How do shields work?
Shield
Yeah,
gives
your
you a
shield's
boost
raised.
to your
You
AC.
get a +2 to your AC.
Just a hit.
What a roller coaster.
After how many episodes of working with a shield wielder,
How many times have I ever used one? Never.
you've got 18 slashing damage on the Skeletal Champion,
Okay.
and I will need a will save from it.
Coming up right now. 19.
That's a fail. This is really, I don't know, this is debatable territory here, as the Mind Lash affects the Skeletal Champion. And,
I'm pretty sure it's mindless.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it has the undead trait.
But, like,
It does have that.
sure, but the undead is not automatically making it mindless, and I
Yeah,
don't believe there's anything in the minion or whatever traits that actually indicate mindlessness either.
I don't see anything on the character sheet that would indicate that it would be resistant or
So I think I'm ruling it correctly. So the Skeletal Champion is going to be stunned too. So the next time you sustain it, it's screwed. Anyway, but it will still be up.
You are both correct. It is my bias carrying over from every other RPG. They are immune to death, disease, paralyzed, poison, and unconscious.
And that was a common thing in like 1E and Starfinder as well. Was like an undead has these things, you know, and a construct has these things. They've kind of done away with that.
Well, so the reason I thought it was mindless is because we have specifically said time and time again that these aren't knowledgeable undead. That's why he has to spend an action to control them. It's because they don't have conscious thought.
That was just to make Lady Gilda feel better.
Oh. All right then.
Yeah, it is a weird one with specifically with this spell because it is animate dead as opposed to summon in a creature, you know. But it effectively works like a summon in a creature. It's a weird window. I think that maybe probably should be better described by Paizo. Because I'm with you, James. I kind of agree with that. Regardless, after that. We're going to just see, I think, another tentacle attack come out. Let's see if it's going to be Krucka or the Skeletal Champion. It's going to be the Skeletal Champion at a mat -8, 12 to hit. I assume that's a miss.
Big miss.
Krucka, you up.
Is Krucka still stupefied? Not that it really matters, but...
Wait, how did Krucka go after Tulok?
I didn't.
Didn't the skeletal... Oh, okay.
He was
I
just
see what
being
happened.
murdered.
I'm just fucking stupid.
Welcome to the club, baby.
I didn't want to say it, but...
It's kind of our thing around here.
Yeah.
Just be over here shutting the fuck up.
I'll be over here and noisily also being stupid. I'm going to trip this thing. Nat 20.
Hey!
Get
That's a reversal.
on the ground.
That is a reversal. Okay, natural 20 on the trip. What's the total?
34 total.
Okay, that's going to be a crit. It falls prone and takes 3 bludgeoning damage as it hits the floor.
Fuck yes.
Amazing. It is now prone, which makes it flat-footed.
Second action, he's going to two-hand his butchering axe and bring it down on this crying, pathetic thing on the ground. Striking with a mat -5. 15 to hit.
That's a miss.
Fuck.
Even well prone.
Oh, prone. That's a turn then.
Okay. Still, it's prone. That could be a significant advantage here. Tulok, what do you got?
How injured does this thing look?
It looks pretty rough. Yeah, you've fucked it up pretty quick here. I think it took 1 or 2 hits before as well, and it hasn't had time to recover like you have. So yeah, you're taking bits and pieces off of it for sure.
It's had time, it just didn't use it properly.
So Tulok is going to sustain the spell, knowing that the Skeletal Champion won't really be able to do anything, but will be a meat shield. So sustain. And then, now there's a little something I've been forgetting to do for probably the last like 60 episodes. So, while you guys were healing, I was preparing Agonizing Despair, spell level 3. And so it is 60 feet range. Tulok begins to make some somatic and verbal... What?
No, I'm just shaking my head going, what the fuck's
Oh,
going
he's
on?
freaking out. Okay.
What the hell
so
is
Tulok
Agonizing
begins
Despair?
to use his hands and speak some words, and then all this purple magic comes in his hands, and then flies straight towards this creature. And I would like a will save, please.
Ooh, shoes on the other foot.
This seems rude for some reason. My lowest save, but I rolled really well, is a 30.
Fuck. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so...
Language. Gee, it's a family show.
It is not a family show.
Weird families that don't get along very well.
I know you're not talking about us, but it feels like you're talking about us.
Okay, so you take half damage. So you take 9 points. I'm sorry, I'm just trying to figure out what type of damage. Of 9 points of mental damage, and you
Okay.
become frightened 1. But I guess you're already more than that.
I'm perma-frightened 2, so unless it says it increases the frightened condition, it won't affect it.
No, I really was trying to get you to frighten 3, but you didn't critically fail. So, anyways, that's my turn.
Okay. fun little extra sneak peek into how Tulok works and how Scott doesn't know that. Izori, what can you give us?
Izori's going to do the same thing. She's going to throw another phase bolt. It's a 33 to hit.
Oh, that hits. Yep.
It'll be 10 points of piercing.
Okay.
And since she moved to the stairs last round, she is going to do a little action I like to call take cover behind the banister.
Sure. Sounds good. Not the sort of thing we've seen really at all.
Well, after using her a bunch, I've realized how squishy she actually is for a pirate captain. So you're going to be seeing a lot more of the take cover action, I assure you.
I'm into it. All right, that's your turn. Next up is L'Urna Curse again, which is now going to, from the prone position, continue to flail, and I think it's going to go ahead and try and fuck up Kruka's day.
Deserves that.
23 to hit.
No.
Flat check.
It misses anyway. 22 to hit.
I don't know if you know how the number line works.
I was really hoping for a rend in this one. Instead, I've got a 23, a 22, and a natural 1. So, I think you've just really surprised this creature. Kruka, can you finish the job?
Oh God, I hope so. 20 with the butchering axe.
No.
13 with the butchering axe.
You were rolling real bad. What was that? That's a 4 and a natural 2.
And a 12 with the butchering axe. I just want to use my motherfucking bloodsucker beak, guys. Why can't I use my bloodsucker beak? I finally tripped the thing.
Tulok, can you finish the job?
You goddamn right I can. Probably not, though. Tulok is going to sustain, and then is going to cast Daze, because that has 60 feet.
Okay.
I've been trying to stay more than 30 feet away.
Nice.
Basic will save.
Basic will save. Rolling in with a natural 5 on the die for a 19.
You fail. You take 19 points of mental damage.
And this thing's brain just, like, he starts wriggling all over the place, and then just blood starts spewing from its eyes and whatever random orifices that are in its, like, warped flesh skin, and it just, like, flails everywhere and slumps to the floor as if it had a goddamn brain aneurysm.
He seems at peace now.
And it goes down like a sack of wet potatoes.
It was already down.
It exploded like a sack of wet potatoes in the microwave.
It explodes like a sack of wet potatoes. Exactly. And combat done.
Anything in the viscera? Like, while Kruka's there, does he, like, he's going to start poking around the body? Is there anything of value there?
Not that you see. Reminder for the room is that it's basically covered in, like, shackles and stuff all along the wall here. Like, many people would have been chained to the north and west walls here. And as you take a look around the room, my macro for perception checks is fucking stopped working.
Just give us everything.
Yeah, you start looking around and you don't see anything. Just old rotted bloodstains, rusted chains and manacles, and like
No, it is just called ball and chain.
Okay. Well, yeah, that's it. That's what you get.
It seems a lot less worth it now.
So just a reminder for yourselves and the listeners, you have this sort of like strangely angled double set of stairs that head downward quite deeply, probably to the next level. And then to the south of this room, on the western side, there is a double door that leads south.
Okay, if we can take 10 minutes to heal up from the slight lashing.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of, like, so we can go take on this pile of goo in the arena, which is kind of where these two double doors, I think, are going to lead.
Mm-hmm.
I have some spells left, but I don't have any, like, big fuck you damage dealing spells. I have a bunch of like shit's not good spells. So I'm fine doing it. Just don't expect me to be crazy valuable. Because remember, she prepared her spells for a day's trip to Otari.
Right, yeah, she hasn't actually prepared for the dungeon.
Right.
Yeah, it's worth noting that this is the first time we've seen a prepared spellcaster versus a spontaneous, which is what Tulok is. So Azori has this pretty incredible list of spells, but has to prepare them in each slot beforehand to each day.
I'm so spontaneous, I forget half my spells.
And Krucka, not being a spellcaster, and definitely Krucka, not Duncan, doesn't know what any of that means and kind of needs it explained like a child.
The intro banter has never been more appropriate in any of our episodes than right now. Yeah. I feel like it's definitely an accident, but I love it.
I feel seen and attacked.
Okay, so like I'm totally prepared to go in and give this a shot, but I will be keeping invisibility back in case we need to get the fuck out of Dodge. And by we, I mean me, and by Dodge, I mean the arena.
I'm just gonna throw this out here. It doesn't seem like it's going anywhere. Why don't we just continue along, not attack it now? We can always come back for that fucker later. Yeah. It's not like it's going to come slinking down the hallways.
Like, so far, you went and, for whatever reason, tried to fight the Velstrak again. Then you fought some Shenregal heaps. Then you fought some oozes. And then you fought this Urna Curse and got your ass kicked and went back in again. I think you've earned a rest, myself.
Yeah, I don't want to rest yet.
Let me propose something to you guys then, because we've been chastised before about this, specifically today during the intro banter. What if I do invisibility and silence on Tulok, have him stealth into the room, get a good look at the creature so we can actually do some recall knowledges and maybe some research on it and spend the night doing research on the creature and recall knowledges?
It's a terrible idea. Let's not do it. No,
Gregor kicks open the door, flaming axe in hand.
I mean, it's in the arena. We still have a few rooms before we get there, methinks.
Yeah.
You're probably right, but I'm prepared for this just to be one long-ass hallway because I've been on this dungeon dive.
Well, let's find out. Tulok storms towards the door, saddened by what's happened in this room, and opens it without care. And James is correct. It's a fucking long-ass hallway, albeit there are doors at the far end, not to the arena.
Yeah, so it's a long-ass 10-foot wide hallway that does, in fact, hook to the east to the arena floor, as you would expect. However, a little bit farther to the south, there are another set of double doors.
One would probably assume that it contains another prison cell-like thing that they send people down. I don't know.
Well, so we've seen the prison cell, or they come essentially are paraded out of the flesh warping labs. I would imagine that this is probably where they house their champions. So this might just be stairs downward, realistically, because we know that the proving grounds are below, I think, or something like that. Because they have to have champions. Yeah. It's an arena, so they've got to come from somewhere. So I'm not going to bet a hero point that that's just a set of stairs downward, but I would not be shocked.
Tulok will proceed down the hallway, searching for traps as he goes.
Izori will follow 10 feet behind, avoiding notice.
Krucka would like to follow, thoroughly searching for hidden doors.
One dude just stamping on the ground, one dude just banging on the walls, and this woman just miming her way down the hall in between them.
Meanwhile, with all the noise, Tulok's trying to avoid notice, I'm sure.
I don't think that blob has ears.
But as you're traveling down this hallway and you're taking, trying to look around at your respective, I don't know what I'm trying to say. You're trying to do your respective exploration activities. Tulok, you hear bzzz, bzzz over your head.
And I look up.
You see nothing. It just stops.
I roll some sort of knowledge check. And I put my hand in the air in a clenched fist to let everyone know to stop.
Oh.
And then I with a palm towards the ground, motion downwards for everyone to take a knee. We're doing Navy SEAL stuff now.
Okay. Can Izori seek while he's doing that?
Yodari Seals. Yeah, you want to take the seek action?
It's not a downtime. It's like a single in combat action traditionally.
Sure,
I guess search.
Search is the action that you do a seek action. Kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So she'll crouch down at Tulok's gesturing and search.
Okay. All right. So you do a search around. Everyone drops to a knee, looks around, doesn't see a thing, and you don't even hear it.
Can I make a roll on this? Recall knowledge. Have I ever heard this sound before?
Yeah. Okay. This is a tough one, actually. Have you heard this sound before? I'm gonna
Duffy, taste the air.
Oh, please,
Lick
no,
that sound.
not on this level, sir. Please. You
Do
never
acid.
know what's been
And
on the
then
balls.
look at that sound.
Oh no.
What was the name of that fly devil that we beat the shit out of and then let go?
Oh.
And then he got murdered by the devil.
Yeah, the cleaning fly.
The type of creature would have been called a zebub.
Zabub, thank you.
Zebub.
Name of him, I forget. I'm gonna see if I can find it because I love the names for those creatures.
Nasty boy.
His name was Zozlarin.
I don't know if I had that in my notes.
Bless you.
Does it sound like that?
You know what? Yes, it sounds exactly like that. It sounds like an overgrown fly. It reminds Tulok of two things. One, the zebub, but it also reminds me of the giant flies that you fought on the surface that were really dangerous. That popped into that horse's corpse, I think it was.
What about like midsummer evenings walking through fields of wildflowers?
No, because it's way
nice
bigger than a
honeybees.
fly. It's way bigger than a fly. Like it's the size of you, kind of size of a buzzing sound, and it kind of.
All right. Well, sorry for
unnerves you.
trying to add a little happiness to
Yeah,
the story.
no, there's no happiness in the Abomination Vault, Scott. You should know that by now.
Okay, so what can I roll on this thing?
Honestly, what I was gonna get a roll for, I've just given to you. It sounds like an oversized fly, and it's familiar.
And can I tell if it's coming? Can I use or can someone use like a survival to tell where it's coming from?
I tried with the seek.
The problem is that it buzzed and then it stopped. So as soon as you heard it, it stopped, and you're not quite
Detect
sure
magic.
where it came from. Sure, detect magic. And you do detect some magic.
Tell me where and what type.
Illusion magic.
He's invisible. Where is he? Tell me to the 5-foot square, please. As I am heightened.
You're heightened, but this also, if I recall correctly, requires you to make a seek check of your own in order to pinpoint the square. I could be wrong about that, but...
You are.
Am I? Because it acts as an imprecise sense, I believe. The detect magic. I was looking at this the other day.
It just gives me the square, and then to tell exactly where it is, I gotta...
Oh, okay. It gives you the square, but you still can't just like automatically observe it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is right above your head.
Okay. Tulok is going to cast... Well, is it happy? Is it a friend? Probably not. Tulok is going to cast telekinetic projectile, and I'll roll whatever flat check you need.
Just start blasting.
Roll me a flat check, and I believe it's a DC 11.
If it's hidden, that is correct.
Natural 20.
Roll me an attack
What's up
roll.
now? 24 to hit.
That's a hit. Roll for initiative.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Well, you can start with 20 points of Damagio, bludgeoning, if you please.
Is there a case to be made for stealth as initiative? I'm totally cool with the answer being no because it clearly knows where we are.
I think because what were you? You were seeking as you were coming through, right?
She was avoiding notice until they crouched, and then she was seeking.
Okay,
but
if you were avoiding notice, then I'm cool with it. You did go to seek, but I think I'm cool with it. Go ahead.
I was thoroughly searching. Can I take a +1?
No.
I just never do this stuff, and I don't want to be involved,
All right, we're rolling for initiative. Zori, what do you got?
27 with that stealth that you so benevolently granted me.
Benevolently. Tulok.
It's just rude. I rolled with occultism because I'm slinging stones around, and that's a 25.
Okay, and Krucka?
I rolled poorly just despite your saying no to me earlier and got an 18.
Nice. I love that kind of spite.
Show
Top
ya.
of the order is going to be the thing that just got hit. How much damage was it? 20 points of damage?
That's right, baby.
You just hear this. You just throw this stone up the air, and it just hits and you're like, ah! It's like, get out here! We have intruders! And this Zebub appears above you as it flies down onto you and tries to bite you, Tulok, with a 24 with its mandibles.
That is a meat to beat.
And you are going to take 16 piercing damage, or piercing and evil damage. And I need you to roll me a fortitude save.
I will once my math is done. Now. 31.
You good. Then this creature is going to fly away from you towards the double doors. Is Zori, what you got?
Zori's first two actions will be to cast Silence on the Zebub if it is, in fact, within range.
What's your range on that?
Trying to figure it out.
25 is what I've got.
Range is touch.
Range is touch. That's not going to do it.
She doesn't know what this thing is, so first action will be to recall knowledge.
Okay. That's going to be a religion.
Oh, no.
Lore.
Sailing lore? These things found in the high seas?
Certainly are not.
I rolled religion. This, for the listeners, they might remember that my modifier for this is 0.
Pause for effect. 11. No, not going to do it.
Okay. Their next two actions, she will... Checking range. Spellcasters are hard. Phase Bolt.
Baseball, go.
That's a 30 to hit.
That's a crit.
Oh, that will be 17 times 2. 34 damage.
Okay. You basically shoot this bolt, and it just, as it's trying to fly to this door, you just basically, for a brief moment, pin it to the door with this phase bolt, and it just goes right through it, and then it flops to the ground in a disgusting mess.
They look like little cherubs with like weird bee faces and long tongues, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They look a bit like this.
Ugh.
What do you got, Tulok?
Oh, I guess I still have... Wait. Tulok will stride south.
Okay. Heading to the door.
Open door.
Open door. Okay. You open the door to reveal a room with stone walls that appear to be glistening in blood. There's an iron maid that stands in one corner at the far southeast. In another corner, a metal table bristling with nails. And you see before you a familiar Barbazu devil getting its weapon ready at the call to action, and another Zebub flying right next to him.
I thought Barbazu devils hated Zebubs.
That's true.
Okay. And then Tulok will retreat back to the north and step around the corner and say, "There's 2 enemies in there. Prepare yourselves."
Okay, Krucka.
He said. I guess all that thinking makes me angry, and he's going to fly into a rage. Oh, how brave are we feeling here? Because could just bust
Brave,
into that room.
brave.
Okay, yeah, sudden charging his way right into the room.
If this is in fact Corlock, we still have their contract. I don't know if that means anything, but
You gave the contract to Corlock, and he found the loophole in his contract and found out that it was null and void, so he left, as far as you know.
I feel like it's not him. It's just another type of devil the same.
Okay. It is in Tulok's inventory, the contract, so...
Okay. I mean,
it
Korlak
wasn't
didn't
Gilda's
necessarily
for
have
a
to keep
long
it.
time.
I'm just saying that he put it to use.
Okay.
All right, what do you got there, Dunk?
Okay, sudden charging into the room. Let's see what we got here.
Krako's just going in for a charge.
He'd like to go for the bug because he knows that that's what we're fighting already.
Okay.
So he's just going to go to the north of the Korlak and strike with the butcher.
The Barbazu? It's not a Korlak. Don't listen to James.
Korlak was its name.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like how I call all like big muscly dudes Conans. It's fine.
Yeah. Exactly.
23 to hit.
Sorry, quick thing. You charge into the room, but it is going to trigger an attack of opportunity as the Barbazu has reach. So it's going to swing its glaive at you for a 28 to hit.
Okay, that hits.
That hits, okay. You are going to take 15 damage, which includes evil damage. And it slices you open, and you're going to take some persistent bleed as well at the end of your turn. But go ahead and finish what you're doing.
I'm going to swat a fly for a 23 to hit.
23 to hit. That hits, yep.
25 damage, to Witcher Fire.
Okay, yep. Takes a big ol' hit, but does not seem to be affected by the fire, and is in fact a bit resistant to your physical damage too.
Okay, so he will run in there screaming, "Wah!" and then there will be a "wah" when he gets hit, and then a "wah" when he hits the bug. And that's about it.
Well, that was a roller coaster of emotions.
All right, that's your turn. Barbazu's up, and it's going to come at you, Kruka, and you might regret this. Roll me a flat check for your bleed.
8.
No dice. You are going to take max damage 6 bleed damage, which I just applied.
It seems a lot worse. He said, "Thanks."
The Barbazu is going to attack you with its wriggling beard. These wriggling tentacles come at you as it like just puts its face in you and goes, "You fool!" And I need you to... I'm going to roll here. It's a 29 to hit.
That hits.
All right, and this thing is going to puncture your face for 9 piercing damage. I need you to roll me a fortitude save.
17.
17. Okay. That's it for that attack.
Is that a success, or...?
You don't know.
Because I just want to remind you, success would be a critical success.
Okay, in that case, it is not a success. It is a fail. You are now going to be attacked by its Hellforged Glaive. It's going to swing at you with a 25 to hit.
Ooh, just beats me. Okay, yep.
Okay, that's 19 damage.
Okay.
And it's going to come at you with another attack with the same glaive for 26 to hit.
That hits.
And that's going to be 25 more damage.
Yeah, that was a big turn.
Yep, Kruka is looking real bad. Real bad.
That was 3 attacks?
That was 3 attacks. The wriggling beard, once per round, completely ignores the multiple attack penalty. Just throwing that out there. Next up is going to be the Zebub that's in the room. And it is going to spend its actions casting a spell that does have the Manipulate trait, if you want to take an attack of opportunity there, Kruka.
What if I could?
Okay, you can't. Okay. Can you not? You don't have it. Shit.
Thanks for rubbing that in a little bit. Okay.
Was Gilda.
That was Gilda. Okay, and
What happened there, by the way?
oh no! Don't do that! Don't do that!
No, I'm just thinking about my own situation right now and how the somewhat similarities that I'm seeing between
Yeah.
the two.
Suddenly, it starts casting a spell, and suddenly a swarm of rats just conjure up into the hallway and start running down the hallway towards Tulak and Izori. I think they're going to head for Izori and just start swarming you with bites. Can you roll me a basic reflex save, please?
29.
That's a critical success. You are staving them off real quick already. You're probably used to all the damn wharf rats on the deck of your ship. It is your turn, Izori.
Does it count as difficult terrain to move through the swarm?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. So she will stride 25 feet with her first action.
Okay.
And with her second action, she's going to peer at this devil holding Krucka. Whisper, reach her hand into her material pouch, pull out this gilded dust, whisper into it, and just puff it into the air. And it settles over the Barbazu.
Yeah.
As she casts a little spell called Impending Doom.
Okay.
Hey.
All right.
Okay, so first and foremost, this does have the incapacitation trait. So if it is level 6 or higher, it treats its DCs as one step lower. Sorry, the incapacitation trait.
Yeah. So do I have to roll a will save on this or something?
Yeah, it's a will save.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I'm 6 or higher, I increase my degree of success, basically.
Yep, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay. 21 is my roll.
Okay. 21 is a fail.
Okay, it's a fail.
Okay. So you're immediately
Nice.
flat-footed.
Immediately flat-footed. Okay.
And then
This is an
next
awesome
round,
spell.
you become frightened 2. And then on the third round, you are stunned 1, and you will take 24 points of damage. But
Okay,
that's not
we
until
had
the
to
third round.
Okay, we gotta wait.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now, just flat-footed.
Just flat-footed.
Okay. Tulak, can you save your companion here?
Tulak will step out from where he was standing, head down to beside Izori. Cancel that. Northwest of Azori so he can see through into the room, and is just going to go back to the old stomping grounds of the telekinetic projectile.
Okay. And who are you targeting?
And is going to fling a stone at the devil. Fuck it.
The Barbazu?
Flinging stones at the devil. Write a folk song about that.
22 to hit, though. I don't like that.
That hits.
Oh, love that then. 17 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay. And Krucka, you're in real rough shape and bleeding.
Yep, that's what you want.
Krucka, get back here.
2-action Ring of the Ram, DC 22 Fortitude save from the Barbazu, please.
Barbazu, fortitude save. 29.
So knocked back 5 feet
Okay.
and takes 4 force damage.
And 4 force damage. Okay.
And third action, 25 feet of movement back behind Azori.
Okay.
Cool.
You take 5 bleed and roll me a recovery check.
Come on, baby.
15. Success.
Sadly, it's not a success because you have been hit by an infernal wound, which means your flat check is currently 20.
Well,
What?
You heard me.
who?
So Krucka is in mad danger. However, what I will tell you is that you can administer first aid. The DC for that is also increased, but that will help reduce the flat check to a DC 15 if you
It's also
take
2
those
actions.
That's your turn, Krucka?
That's the turn.
Okay. Things are looking hairy, and the Barbazu is going to storm forward towards Azori.
Okay, you are frightened 2.
Okay, we got to figure out how the rounds work on that first.
It just says on the second round, so I assumed when it ticked to the second round. But if you want to rule it, that's my turn. That's cool too.
Yeah, the second round would be your turn, I think.
Okay.
That way, it has to spend one turn of its own with the initial conditions, and then the next turn has to spend a full turn with the next set of conditions, so on and so forth. But it doesn't compound before it has a turn with the previous condition. So it's gonna run up to you, Izori. In fact, it's not gonna get right up to you because it has this awesome glaive with reach, and it's going to swing that glaive for a 23 to hit. Not great.
Nope.
And we'll take a second attack with that with a 30 to hit.
That's a hit. Yep.
Okay. And that's going to be 17 damage.
Okay.
And some sweet, sweet infernal wound bleed on you as well, my friend.
Okay.
That is going to be the Barbazu. The Zebub is going to sustain its spell, and it's going to move that swarm into all of your spaces. And I need everyone to roll me a reflex save.
14.
14. Krucka, you're going to take 5 piercing damage.
8. Not looking great.
Well, we got 25. That's going to put you at 2 piercing damage for Izori. And would you get Tulak?
29.
You're good. You're good, Tulak. And then the Zebub is going to... The hell can it do? That was one action. It's going to turn invisible. Casting invisibility on itself. Izori, you're up.
We already know this thing has AOs, right? So that sucks. Okay, she will stride out of its reach with her first action, taking it if that's the case.
Yep. Attack of opportunity.
Yep.
26 to hit.
That's a hit.
That's 15 damage.
Okay. And then with her next 2 actions, she is going to wave her hand very quickly at the Barbazu, and it starts to slow down and create these trails as she casts slow on this creature. So that will require a fortitude save, please.
Okay.
And you are in fact frightened 2 at this point because it is my turn.
Frightened 2. Where is the frightened condition? There it is. Frightened 2 and fortitude save. 24.
24 is a fail. You are slowed for 1 minute now.
Fuck yes.
Oh, that frightened was clutch. Oh my god. Okay, slowed 1, sorry?
Slowed 1 for 1 minute, yes.
For 1 minute. Oh my god.
Yeah. Success is slowed for 1 round.
Oh man. Oh, that's so clutch. Okay, that's you, Tulak.
Money, baby.
I need a recovery check.
Oh yeah,
which is an
recovery
8.
check, please. 8. Okay, that's a fail. You take 2 bleed damage.
Okay. Now her turn's over.
Okay.
All right, Tulak will reach out and touch Kraka and use the healer's gloves for 16 points of healing.
Thank you.
And then Tulak will turn to the Barbazu and will cast blindness. So,
Just stacking them on.
fortitude save, please, sir.
Again, incapacitation trait, which we really failed majorly the last time we used this in a significant situation. But we know that it is less than level 6, so I think we're in
That's
the clear.
right. That's right.
But I rolled a 28.
Okay, so that is a pass or a success. So you are blinded until your next turn begins,
Okay.
Shit.
which is not
Which
very
is coming
helpful.
up soon. Yeah. But nope, it makes it
Okay.
flat-footed to you right now. That's the key.
It's already
That's-
flat-footed.
Right. Never mind.
Impending doom.
Betting Doom is so cool.
I've been waiting for this spell, so
Okay. Anything else there? No, that's it. Healer's gloves. Cast a spell.
That's it for me.
Krucka, you looking rough, bud.
Yeah. I think it would be a 2-action first aid to stop from dying.
yeah, it would change the DC from 20 to 15.
Yeah, that's what you're looking at.
And potentially stop from dying. And I need that. Okay, yeah. Okay. And I can do it with my nature.
Yes, you can.
20. So
Oh yeah, I mean 20 is exactly what you need basically because you have to usually meet the DC of the effect There isn't really one other than the flat check DC, so that's where I was setting it, was 20. So that's bang on.
Perfect.
Okay, and then, so your flat check is now 15 at the end of your turn. Fingers crossed. But you have one more action.
Yep.
Bearing in mind, you'd have to take your one hand off the axe to do that.
Yeah, I mean, free action, he'll do that.
Yeah.
What do you think, guys? Book it? Fail? Maybe let's not be here anymore?
I mean, I think we're winning, but I understand where you're coming from. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or you at least pull back and start throwing some shit at them.
Yeah, I'm not doing great either. I'm down to half health, but I'm squishy spellcaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I mean, he does have the orc ferocity that he can just kind of play whack-a-mole with for a while. So he'll draw his returning light hammer.
Okay. Draws the hammer.
That's a turn.
Barbazu is up.
Wait, hold on. Duncan, do you want to move and then draw the light hammer next turn, or are you feeling okay right there?
I mean, how many hits can the casters take, really?
More than you right now.
More than me, but if I can just orc ferocity as long as I don't keep...
Yeah, that's true.
It's a gamble.
It's a gamble. And it's your gamble to take. You taking it?
Well, taking it. Yeah.
Okay. So the Barbazu is going to quite literally blindly run forward. Oh, no, it's the start of the next turn, so it's not blind anymore, right?
Yeah, it's
okay.
fine.
And is going to swing that glaive. It's going to get right up in your goodies, though, and not with that reach anymore. And it's going to swing at, let's see, it's either going to be Tulok or Kruka. And it's actually going to be Tulok. Oh, sorry, Kruka, you take 1 persistent damage. Roll me your DC 15 flat check.
Well, it was a nice effort.
Brutal.
Aw.
Closer.
Okay. Big ol' Hellforged glaive coming at you there, Tulok. That's a natural 1 as it stumbles into this swarming mass of rats trying to swing at you.
I'll take that, baby.
It'll go for a second swing.
It is slowed, motherfucker.
Damn it! I just rolled a natural 20. Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Just wasted it.
You put that back in the bag.
Okay.
Since it turns over, I require a DC 20 will save, please.
Oh no.
Could you roll for sucking it, Baron?
How's a 12 do you?
Your frightened condition does not tick down because of my lesser dread explorer's clothing.
God damn.
Yes. Oh my god. That's amazing. Let me just double check he's actually not immune to frighten. No, he's not. Okay. Can you imagine? Next up, the rats start a biting. I need everyone, including the Barbazu, to roll me another reflex save.
15.
23.
Okay, so 15 is going to take 6 piercing. 23 is going to take 3. And Barbazu, the Barbazu roll 24, also going to take 3.
For the listeners, I'm not in the square.
Yes, thank you. And the you can hear the Zebub start to say something in I think someone speaks infernal.
Yep.
And you just hear,
Yep.
I'm gonna let the boss know. He'll sort this out.
as these rats are just biting at everybody's ankles, and then something just fizzle out of existence, and the Barbazu's just standing there with he's frightened, flat-footed, and I assume we tick down on the last impending part of Doom, and it's Azori's turn.
It's actually the end of the third round. You will take
Okay.
the damage that I rolled, which
All right.
I don't remember what it is anymore, because like a fool I rolled it.
We can roll it again.
24. It's 24
Okay.
damage.
Sure.
With her first action, she is going to pull out her Wayfinder of Rescue and use its once per day ability to cast a single action heal on Kruka.
Okay.
So that will be 8 points of health back to Kruka.
Cool.
Thank you.
And with her next 2 actions, she'll go back to the well with a Phase Bolt.
Phase Bolt, go.
19.
hit. Again with frightened.
Really? Oh, shit.
With frightened.
Oh, that's amazing.
And flat-footed.
That is 14 points of piercing.
I forgot those compound too, right? The
You're
flat-footed
goddamn
and the
right they
frightened.
do. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn. 14 damage.
Yep.
This is piercing. Some of it's resisted because it does have physical resistance.
It's not a physical attack, but it is physical damage.
It is
Got
piercing damage, yeah, and it's not overcome by magic, so it's silver in this case. And now it ticks.
Yeah, well, the end of the third round. So it would be the end of this. I guess it would be the end of my turn, yeah, because that's how we've been ruling it. So yeah, it'll be 24 points of damage. I cannot find what kind of damage that is. Mental damage. Mental damage. 66
Sweet.
mental. Yeah.
And thank goodness we have Cam on our side because you cast a spell and I have the reach. I'm going to take an attack opportunity on you. But it is with
okay, I'm going to take cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is with you get a +1 to your AC on this. 16 to hit. Yeah, I'm screwed.
Yeah, that's not going to do it.
24 mental damage, you said?
Yeah, 24. And then I believe the flat-footed goes away because this only actually lasts for 3 rounds.
Okay. This creature just, like, kind of, its head just snaps a bit at a sudden mental damage that hits it. And it's, like, starting to stagger, and it looks real rough. Real rough. And its status effects fall off except for slowed. Izori, you take
Frighten
one.
won't fall off
persistence.
because of her
Frighten-
lesser dread.
Oh yeah, Frighten wouldn't fall off.
So that is a DC 20
That's beautiful. I have to roll that right now.
at the end of its turn, I think. Or yeah, I don't know. I guess that's really up to you. Creature's immediately flat-footed on the second round. It becomes Frightened 2. So I guess it would tick down when Frighten normally ticks down.
Which is at the end of its turn.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
Oh,
In fact,
sorry. You were supposed to be stunned 1 on this round. My bad.
And not take the mental damage? Or do both?
At the end of this turn, you would take the mental damage, but you were stunned 1 on the third round. So you were stunned 1 this whole round as well.
Okay. So the mental damage and stunned.
Yeah. Frightened 2, slowed, stunned.
And flat-footed. Just going to throw that all back on this creature.
My bad.
So again, you take 1 persistent bleed damage. Please roll me a flat check.
4.
All right. And Tulok, you're up.
All right, Tulok is going to begin uttering words that no one would understand and cast aberrant whispers. So I require from you a will save.
Will save. Coming in hot. With a natural 7 for a 16.
Alrighty, that is going to be a fail, not a critical fail. So you are stupefied 2.
Okay, stupefied 2.
And then that is 1 action, and then I will cast telekinetic projectile, flinging a stone at you, 31 to hit.
That's a crit.
I was hoping it would
describe
be.
your kill.
Nice.
It's got 3 HP left.
Yeah, he just fucking reaches out and just pulls a stone from the ceiling directly down and caves its stupid devil skull in. Hail Satan.
That was a good move because its next attempt was going to be to dimension the door the fuck out of here, but you killed it and you had stupefied it just in case you missed, and it might not have succeeded. And that ends the encounter, but it does not end the dangers of people bleeding out, and we'll figure that out in the next episode. So I'm going to call it here.
You!
Hey.
Nicely done. Finally finding our synergy.
Yeah, that was great. Stemming the Tide is an actual play podcast of the Adventure Path Abomination Vaults and is produced by the Uncharted North Network. Stemming the Tide uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc., used under Paizo's community use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you to use or access this content. Stemming the Tide is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com. Music is composed by Will Savino and artwork by Greyhood. Stemming the Tide is recorded remotely using Foundry Virtual Tabletop. If you wish to connect with us or support this project and projects to come, we can be found at unchartednorth.ca, patreon.com/unchartednorth, and on all major social media platforms. Links to all credits can be found in the episode description and our website. Thanks for tuning in.